We welcome you to episode 18 of Battin Chattin here on the Eastern Observer alongside Denis Tuohy. I'm Brandon Natale. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube to be kept in on the loop on everything Eastern Observer and most importantly, Battin and Chattin. Now, our show can be found on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts can be found. Our show is presented to you by Black Cats NYC. Be sure to download their newest hit single, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us, which can be found wherever music is found, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM, Satellite Radio, and many others. So I hope everybody's having a great September 27th. That's currently the date we are right now recording. I know I'm excited. There's been a lot going on in the baseball world. The regular season's wrapping up. If I could, I would go to a Mets game if I could. I know that ticket prices right now are like really cheap. Like for what I pay for like the 110, 109 section is now what home plate could essentially be. Like, I don't know if you saw Dennis, but like, so usually whenever I sit in that section or on the other side by the third base or the first base, tickets are like maybe like $60, $70 at City Field. Now those tickets probably are like maybe $5, $10. And like, I look at home plate and I could pay like $68 for like sitting at home plate.
Is today their last home game?
They're playing a doubleheader against the Marlins.
Yeah, but today is it like the last home day of their season?
That's a good question. I feel like
no, actually, they're home for the rest of the season.
They're home for the rest of the season. Yeah, they're home for the rest of the season. They play the Marlins, your team. Yeah, well, your second team.
My adopted team. Go Marlins.
Your adopted team.
Swim upstream, boys. Not out yet.
Yeah. And so they
dang, Saturday, 7:00 game, Mets Phillies. $4. Oh my god. Tie-dye headband day? Who could say no to that? You're right, it's $110 for behind home plate. I'd spend that.
I would spend it too. I wish I wasn't working. I would, I'd say screw it. Let's go, Dennis.
Yeah.
And they've had a 2-game series. Or actually, yeah, and then
I like to sit by the Apple. Where's that at?
Yeah, you love the Apple.
I like sitting over there, yeah. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a good view. It's $16. Oh my god. For Mets Phillies. Bro. Dang. What? That's like a big game. Like I would go to a Mets Phillies game just even if the Mets were out and I was a Mets fan, I'd still like consider going. It's like a good game. Like the Phillies are a good team.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it sucks. I remember my friend said to me, he's a Yankee fanatic. Shout out to Joey Wellner. He said to me, he's like, you know how upset I am. I can't go to another, Yankee game now for the rest of the season. And I'm like, well, you can wait 6 months, buddy. I mean, because I give him credit. I don't know.
I went to a lot less games this year than last year. I went to 2. I went to 1 Met game, 1 Yankee game.
I went to more Yankee game. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I went to like a fair amount, but I definitely went to a lot of games. I feel like, but it was pretty equal. Like one day it was Yankees, and then the Mets. I went to a lot in the beginning of the year. Honestly, that April, I forgot. I went to the first 2 Met home openers, home opener games. I remember I went to the first game, and then the second day, that's when I saw Senga pitch first at Citi Field. And that was great. My first hand look at Senga. Yeah. And then I went to the Padres game. I remember that's when Scherzer pitched, and everyone thought that the Padres were going to smoke the Mets, but the Mets took 2 out of 3. That was great. And then that same week I went to Yankee Stadium. That's when I saw the Twins beat the Yankees. Who would have known? Who would have known we'd sit down with Gene Larkin 6 months later?
Yeah.
If 4 months later, and the Twins, they won the AL Central.
Yeah, they're the last team standing in the worst division in sports. I'm just saying what we're all thinking. Come on,
no one's stopping you. Yeah, hey,
the fact that they didn't clinch that division August 1st is like astounding to me.
August 1st,
dude.
Is that
like,
bad?
Cleveland didn't even have pitchers. They actively tanked. They literally sent down a bunch of their good pitchers for pitch count reasons. For pitch count reasons, but they had no hope of making the playoffs. Blatantly tanked.
Yeah. I'm just taking a look right now. Detroit. I just sad Detroit didn't really do anything before Miguel Cabrera is retiring.
That would have been nice. I always like to see that if like a guy that's been there for a long time gets like that one last ride.
Yeah.
Wayno didn't do it either. The Cardinals were eliminated, May 1st? May 10th? They were
Yeah.
eliminated?
Yeah, the Cardinals are not on your good list
Oh,
this
absolutely
year.
not.
No,
And
they
they're
didn't
not
make it.
going to be. It's because listen, I was just watching MLB Network, and they were saying like, a lot of the other disappointing teams, the Yankees, the Mets, and they just never mentioned the Cardinals. I was like, they're easily the most disappointing team in the league, easily. I
They
can't
had
even
a
think
lot
of
of hope.
second
Yeah.
place. Maybe the Mets, maybe the Yankees, maybe the Padres, whatever. First place, easily the Cardinals. You can't be fifth place in that division. That's pathetic.
Yeah, I know compared to last year when they're in the playoffs and they lost to the Phillies in the wild card round.
They blew it. Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, they blew it. I remember watching it too. I remember they blew game one. Just like the Mets did with the wild card against the Padres, but the Padres is just a stacked team, so they were. I mean, for that playoff, for the wild card team, the Padres were stacked. So heading into this year, because not to move on from the Cardinals, for just about the Padres, they coming into this year, coming off of the year they had last year, everyone thought that the Padres were going to repeat that same success, and obviously, it kind of crumbled a bit, Dennis.
Yeah, it really did. They're still technically in it. They just eliminated the Giants last night. The Giants could eliminate them tonight.
Yeah, it's like
They're
like you
still
said. Yeah.
technically in it. I don't understand. And last week we went over kind of like that hit piece on AJ Preller and the Padres front office and the way they handle their business. I still don't understand how the talent on that roster has been this bad. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre, especially as you had mentioned. They had a very good season last year. They go to the NLCS. They bring in Xander Bogaerts, which you'd expect to get you over the hump by himself. He's
Yeah.
bad. And
Mm.
then you have Fernando Tatis Jr. coming back.
Just talent
And
all around that
offensively, he
roster.
hasn't really played up to the standard that you would have expected. I guess one can make the argument it's because he's not on Peds anymore, but
Mm.
I don't know, but they're disappointing. The fact that their winningest player by wins above replacement is Ha-Sung Kim. If I told you that on opening day, what would you have said? What would you have said? Honestly,
I would ask you. I'd be like, what about Machado? Not Machado, not Bogarts,
not Juan
not Tatis,
Soto,
not even Soto, not even Tatis. Not
Ha-Sung Kim.
Hassan. Yeah, I mean,
He's having a terrific season defensively,
yeah, I
but
remember watching him play. He was good.
like, come on, man. Blake Snell might win the Cy Young, and they're still, you know,
Yeah, that's
they're
quarterback.
far out of the playoffs, man. I just had the standings up. They're 4.5 games out, which means they have to win in, and I guess the for argument's sake, the Cubs, Marlins, and Reds would have to lose out.
Mm.
Three teams have to lose out. So I don't even know who they're playing the rest of the way. They're playing against the Giants tonight, like I had said, which that's awkward. You just eliminated. They got 3 against the White Sox. So if they win today, who knows? Maybe they do get in there, but you also need every other team to lose.
Mm.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
Yeah, I guess that's right. If any of the other teams win, they're eliminated. Right? I don't know. This whole thing is so confusing now.
we're
We
gonna
went
go
over
over
it last
another tiebreaker scenario.
we
Like
went
that.
over it last week for like 30 minutes. It was so freaking confusing. I guess they're fortunate enough that none of the teams play each other because that would ensure somebody would have to win that game. Therefore, they would have to be out. You know who wasn't disappointing this season, though, were the Brewers.
How so?
They just clinched last
Yeah.
night. The Milwaukee Brewers, 88-69, clinch the division, National League Central in 2023. Good for them. And they did it in the funniest way possible. They actually lost the game. I like that. That kind of gets a chuckle out of me when a team loses in. I love that. It's hilarious.
I feel like that kind of sucks because like then the team can't celebrate after. I mean, I don't know.
You can still celebrate, but
Right. I mean,
celebrate the season.
there you
After
go.
the game.
Maybe at the end of the season, like last game of the year, they just just pop open the champagne in the locker room right away, and there you go.
Well, I mean, listen. I've been saying that I thought the Cubs were going to win the division for months, and I was wrong. The past
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
days, though, like it was pretty clear the past 2 weeks or so that the Cubs weren't going to win it. So good for them. The Brewers wound up winning the series by this division by 6 games. Cubs
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
That's why the
Yeah, I
Brewers
heard the
lost that
Cubs
match.
Cubs had a bad collapse, right?
Yeah, they lost 7-6 to the Braves.
Mm. Yeah, I
Good
mean,
team, but they've been really kind of struggling since they clinched. I don't know if the Braves, you know, a little party time down in Miami after they clinched. I don't know what happened, but they're 5-5 over their last 10 and got smoked by Miami a couple of weeks ago. And then they lost. Didn't they just lose to another team that they should have beaten? They just blew it. They got swept by nobody. Okay. That got weird. The Cubs. No,
Braves are just
okay, that's what happened. The Nationals took two. No, wait a minute. The Phillies took 2 of 3 from them. That's what I was thinking of.
it's just crazy because the Braves, it's just compared to where the Mets were and where that division was a year ago, compared to now, it's crazy because I mean the Mets had the lead. Man, it's 29 and a half games. It's insane. They had the lead last year. It just sucks looking back last year to where they are now. I mean, everyone thought Verlander and Scherzer were gonna get them over that hump. Everyone thought that addition. They almost got Correa. Who knows
Yeah.
what would have happened if they added him?
He's been bad. Have you seen his stats on this season?
I haven't seen him in a while, but like he hasn't really popped out as like a player that everyone's been talking about.
He had a bad year.
I mean, yeah,
And
from what I
not
heard,
even just with injuries and whatnot. He was just bad.
when I saw him on the Twins, when the Yankees played the Twins, there I did see that I think he had a home run against them. So I know that wasn't something that Yankee fans like to see, seeing Carlos
No.
Correa now. So I mean, I've seen some of his success. But what was I gonna say? That fiasco. I feel like the Mets did dodge some. I wonder what happened if they had Degrom though. Like, there's a lot of what ifs. Like, if Degrom, I mean, would he have gotten injured on the team? I think he was bound to get injured, right?
Yeah, he was
He was bound to
bound
get
to get
injured.
injured. He needed surgery. He should have gotten the surgery. But
Well,
he
I mean,
didn't.
he wanted to get the money, and so I mean, which hey, players, they want to get paid. So I mean, but I guess for your long term health and for physical health and obviously mental, like you got to do what's best for your body long term. It's probably with Otani. Like I feel like they're trying to make sure they ounce every bit of cent that they can get for him. But it's like at the same time,
Yeah,
like
it's
he's already being damaged already. It sucks.
yeah. Going back to the Braves Cubs game, Braves were down 6-0 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, and then Kevin Pillar, not Millar, hit a home run. And then Matt Olson had another RBI, an RBI single, and then an RBI double by Marcelo Ozuna, made it 6-3. And then Ronald Acuna Jr., of course, 2-run homer,
Mm.
gets them back in it, and they lost it. So, but it wound up kind of being the nail in the coffin were 2 wild pitches in the 8th, letting Matt Olson advance to 3rd, and then Forrest Wall stole 2nd. It was a pinch runner.
Mm.
And then they scored on a Seiya Suzuki throwing error.
Mm.
So hopefully the Cubs can kind of, have a short-term memory about it and snap back to reality. Don't dwell on it so much, because man, they could. That's the kind of stuff that derails the team. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
cannot afford that at all right now. As we were just talking about, the wild card race is so tight there. They're currently in the 3rd spot, Chicago, but a half game ahead of the Marlins 1 game behind the Diamondbacks. So you really you don't have time to wallow. You kind of gotta get going here.
Yeah,
So
we'll see. I mean, it's very interesting. I know Texas is still in it. Texas didn't clinch yet, right?
not that I know of.
Okay, no, yeah, they didn't clinch the division yet. No, I'm looking at division. Because obviously Houston is still behind them. No, yeah, they're like right 2 games behind them, like 82. It's 86 to 72. Then you got Texas, who is 88 and 69.
The American League could come down to the last game of the season, their playoffs, because obviously the 3 AL West teams you just talked about, Texas, Houston, Seattle, they're all within what 3 games, right?
Mm.
I had the wild card thing up. Yes, they're all within 3 games. Texas in the lead, Houston in second, 2.5, and then Seattle 3 games out. And just keeping you up to date, 4-6 over the last 10 for Seattle, 3-7 over the last 10 for Houston, and 6-4 over the last 10 for Texas. Seattle did beat Houston last night.
Mm.
So it is wonky, and that's before tiebreakers and whatnot, which hopefully we don't have to get into
Yeah,
because we
no,
went through that last week, and
we
my
did go
mind
through
is
that last week.
still bending from that. Toronto's in second place for the American League wild card, a game and a half over the Western teams. So,
Mm.
yeah. Ooh, coming down with something.
You getting that cold?
Yeah, dude, I woke up in the middle of the night like with like a wicked coughing fit too.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, weird, man. Weird.
I feel like I thought I was getting sick yesterday. Oh, damn, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that
No,
was
you gotta get it out. I thought I was getting
yeah.
sick,
Oof.
but I was gonna say because my mom had, I think, a sinus infection from what she told me, and she had to go on antibiotics. So I thought she was gonna give it to me, but luckily my vitamins are keeping up. My Flintstone vitamins are,
Flintstone gummies.
yeah, that's right. I thought I was getting sick. I was at the gym and like I felt tired, but then I came home. Obviously, I had my shake, and then I took a nap, and I woke up. I felt a little better. It was like I think I just need a little nap. So I feel good, especially since I'm going away next week. I definitely don't want to, you know, definitely don't want to have a coughing fit in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it was wild.
But I'm glad you're feeling good though, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here.
There you go.
So like,
Luckily, and hopefully we won't have to
we'll
get
get
into the
through it.
tiebreakers. So we don't
Yeah,
have to.
yeah. Less talking for me. Woohoo.
But
Yeah,
so
man.
that's the wild card. Obviously Tampa, Toronto, Houston. So now I'm taking a look at the National League. Philadelphia
Yeah,
clinched, Arizona, and okay. So Chicago's not dead, as you said.
yeah. They're
They're not
in the
dead.
third spot right now, but they're only a half game ahead of Miami, a game and a half over Cincinnati. Because they're in the same division, I'll help you guys out. We'll see who has the tiebreaker between Cincinnati and Chicago. Regular season series. Ooh, Cincinnati won it 7-6. Better luck next year for the Chicago Cubs. They do not have the tiebreaker, which means if they win the next 5, or actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. Standings. Yeah, I guess it's not going to matter because they're already ahead of them, right? Math, not my strong suit. Not my strong suit. So if they go 4-1, ready for this? If they go 4-1, and the Reds go 5-0 the rest of the season, the Cubs are out. Reds are in because they have the tiebreaker. They beat them
Okay.
more times this season.
Right. Okay.
Wild.
It's crazy though.
I miss game 163s, man.
They don't do it. They're not doing
There's
them anymore?
no possible way to get to a game 163. There's like 100 different fail safes they have. It's head to head, then it's in division, then it's in the league. Like in your league. So if you beat up on the National League and you're an American League team, sucks to suck. It's just, it
That's
is
how
what
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is what it is. There you go. You said it.
It's I don't know.
So it sucks that
I don't know how I feel
I
about
think they
that.
said this is the first time that the Mets or the Yankees are not going to be in the playoffs.
Ever?
No, since 2014.
Oh, okay.
My apologies.
Yeah, I was going to say that seems very unlikely.
Because I forgot they were in it in 2015, the Yankees and the Mets. I remember the Yankees
I
made the wild
totally
card.
don't remember the 2015 Yankees getting into the playoffs. I've been told that they were in it and they played Houston. I don't remember a second of that series.
I guess because yeah, it was
It was a
nothing big
wild card
about it.
game.
Right, and
So I
the
guess I don't
Houston
remember
just
that
came
game.
in. Houston came in, and that was when Houston I think was starting to come up. That was
Yeah, no,
their
it was
come.
the
Yeah.
ALDS, wasn't
No, it was the wild card
it?
for
It was
them, and I think they almost made it to the. I
2015.
think they lost. They lost in the ALDS. They
Right.
lost to not can. It couldn't have been Kansas City.
Yeah,
It might
I
have been
guess you're
Toronto.
right. Yeah, let's find out. Let's get distracted by this. Yeah, the Yankees were home for that game too.
Yeah, they were home. Yeah,
What? This wasn't real. The
I guess.
Rangers won the division that year? What?
Yeah, they won it.
Was that the Joey Bats fight? No, it couldn't have been.
No, that was
No, it was. Was that the Joey
Bautista.
Bautista fight with Rougned Odor? Was that year?
No, you're thinking of that's in the regular season of next year.
Right.
That was in the
So
regular
this was the
season of
bat
next year.
flip. This
That
was the
was when the
bat flip
bat flip,
series.
yes, and that's when Bautista had the bat
Got
flip,
it.
and Texas didn't like that, so they the benches cleared, and it almost could have resulted in a brawl. But luckily, that didn't happen.
Who was on the Yankees in 2015?
That's one of my favorite
Ellsbury,
Jose Bautista moments too. I love just
Brett Gardner, Beltran.
bat flip says it all.
Gosh,
Right?
this team is something. That was then. This is now. Let's talk about the current baseball. I'm
Yeah,
looking through the Yankees roster, and I'm like, I remember a lot of these guys. Slade Heathcott, my guy, dude. What a name, Slade Heathcott. I really thought that guy was going to be the next big thing just because of his name, Slade Heathcott. Dude, that would have been he would have hit 60 bombs in 1983 with the name Slade Heathcott. 100%.
Slade Heathcott. Okay,
What a name. He sucked, but he was an awesome name. David Carpenter. That guy was on our team. A lot of Carpenters in Major League Baseball history. Dustin Ackley.
there's a lot, honestly. Yeah, I agree.
Now that I'm seeing the names, I'm actually kind of sort of remembering the team. Roman, Gary Sanchez, Joe Girardi. Yeah. Ellsbury. I think I'm the only Ellsbury defender in all of Yankee fandom. Oh, well, we're not going to get into that, but whatever. Yeah, so let me ask you now. Most of the players are set. Predict the playoffs, buddy.
Okay, you know what? So let me pull up the playoff picture in total. Let's put it on the bracket. I want you to do the same thing too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So pull up the bracket.
MLB bracket. Oh, I already had it.
Just take a look. Okay. Oh, you're way ahead of the game. Rob, so right now we got the Orioles with the division lead. They are currently the number 1 seed. You got Texas at number 2. Twins at number 3. They would face off against Houston. The Twins and the Orioles would have the bye. And then the Toronto versus Tampa Bay in the wild card series, three-game series. Then over in the NL, you got the Braves and the Dodgers, number 1 and number 2. They both get buys. The Brewers get the number 3. Obviously, the number 3 team, they have to face the wild card team, which would be the Cubs if they win it out. Then the Diamondbacks at number 5, and the Phillies at number 4. So, all right, you know what? I feel like we should write this down though, or maybe we'll look back at the recording. We'll look back at the episode. We'll look back at it.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, let's start with the wild card round. I'd say
Which league, American or national?
I'm gonna do American.
Okay, left to right. I like that.
I feel like Houston, they always make it out, and like they always, I don't know, just looking at the team, and I like the Twins, but and they had a good year. I mean, They won the Central for the first times. I mean, they're making it to the playoffs. Is this the first time they won the Central since 2020, or no? That was the playoff.
I'm sorry.
They made the. This is the first time they're making the playoffs since 2020, or that was when they last won the division.
The Twins.
Yeah.
That would be the last time they made the playoffs.
Okay. So I would say I'm gonna go Houston over the Twins. I can't always go against Houston. I mean, they still got Altuve. No matter what, that team is still. When it comes to the playoffs, Houston always knows how to make some noise. I know Josh, our boy Josh in Houston. I know he can vouch for us. But I think the Twins definitely put on a good fight. I feel like it's going to definitely go to game 3. Now, Toronto against Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay. I feel like Tampa Bay, they're in the beginning of the year, they're red hot. Who's not to say they come up, during the playoffs. But I remember in seeing Toronto against the Mets, they have lots of great hitters. They got Vlad Guerrero, they got Bo
He's heating
Bichette,
up too.
walled midfield, so I think it's definitely I think that's going to go one of two ways. I think one team is going to sweep the other because both teams are just dominant. It might not show with Toronto, but I know that Toronto will pull up a good fight. So it's gonna be tough. I'm trying to think, give me 5 seconds. I would say I'm gonna go Toronto. I think Toronto kind of upsets right here because I feel like same thing. I mean, but you know what? Yeah, I'm still gonna go Toronto. I don't know. I just feel like they got the hitters to do it. The pitching might be a little iffy, but we'll see. I mean, I might be, Dennis, you can correct me on that. So then now this would be a good series in a division playoff series. Orioles against Toronto. I like the Orioles right now. I think they're too red hot to collapse. I think. Oh, who
Battle
knows?
of the Birds.
What?
The Battle
Battle of
of
the
the Birds.
Birds. Yeah, Battle of the Birds. I got the Orioles going into the ALCS. Now we got Houston against Texas. Now this is a good series. This is the test of Texas now because now Texas clinched already, right? They clinched their division or not yet?
No.
Okay, all right. But this is as of now. This is currently
No.
what we're looking at the playoff picture now. So, as the stands, hold on, let me take a look at the standings. Let me take a look at the standings. Are we looking at the playoff picture or are you looking at the playoff bracket?
I'm looking at the bracket.
Okay, who we think's going to win it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Houston's they're not done. I mean, they're fighting. So maybe we'll do another repeat next week, but as of now, we're going to go off what we see and who's standing now. So let's see. I would say Houston would beat Texas because I think no matter what, I feel like Texas would make it onto the. I feel like this would be the ALDS Houston against Texas, no matter who's in the wild card or who has the number 2 seed. So I would say Houston move on to the CS, and I think you're going to see the Orioles go up against Houston, and this is tough. I think just looking at this as I drink my coffee, I'd like to see. I think the Orioles are going to put up a good fight. I think they're going to dethrone the Houston Astros, and I think they make it to the World Series, winning the AL pennant, representing the AL in the World Series. You know what, Dennis? You want to see if you want to outride my prediction with the AL?
Give my prediction
For the AL, yes, and then we'll go over to the NL.
Sure. All right, I have an upset right away. I got Twins over Houston.
Really? Okay.
I think October baseball outside in Minnesota, Houston has not been playing well at all. This is assuming they even get into the playoffs. They got another game against Seattle tonight. Biggest game of the season for them. Minnesota, man, they got a really good pitching staff.
Yeah.
I got to say, I like a lot of their players, man. A lot of their guys have kind of been sneaky good this season. So, they're not the Minnesota Twins that the Yankees made mincemeat of, 10 years. No, I'm not trying to
No, I know.
be a hater. I'm just saying, They have a lot of injuries right now. Royce Lewis on the 10-day IL, Carlos Correa on the 10-day IL, Joey Gallo on the 10-day IL.
Mm.
Byron Buxton's hurt, obviously. But Max Kepler's having a really good season for them. OPS plus 115, 23 homers, 62 RBIs, 251 batting average. He's had a lot of injuries in the past, so to see him stay on the field and see what he's done, I like. Um, so that's a hitter. Edward Julian, Eduard Julian,
Mm.
259 batting average, OPS plus 126, 14 homers, 32 RBIs, and 24-year-old and 105 games. Nice little season for him. Where their bread is buttered is that pitching staff. They got obviously Sonny Gray, a sub 3 ERA, 2.8, 8-8 on the season, an ERA plus of 156. The league average is 100. An ERA plus of 121 for Pablo Lopez, who has a 361 ERA. Bailey Ober has kind of been hot for them lately. OPS plus 123. And Kenta Maeda, the bounce back for one of my favorite players in the league, 428 ERA with a 102 ERA plus. The Houston pitching staff has not been what it has in the past. No Lance McCullers. Verlander has been pretty good. Obviously, Framber Valdez had that no-hitter earlier this season, and the buck stops there. So I just kind of like top to bottom, especially a bona fide closer and Johan Duran for the Minnesota Twins, 254 ERA, 27 saves out of the pen. I like that. Jorge Lopez is no slouch out there either, but he's been struggling a lot more lately. I got them over Houston.
Okay.
We'll do the other wild card. Get
Yeah.
the brooms. Toronto is going to be heading south to Baltimore. They're going to beat Tampa.
Yeah.
They just
I agree.
are. They just are. I'm speaking it into fruition at this point. I'm so sick of Tampa. You know I am. I like Randy Arozarena, Yandy Diaz. Their lineup is sneaky good. They've had so many injuries that it has to fall apart at some point. And I also think Toronto hitting their stride right now. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, who knows where they're going to fall out? But
Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't know. I like it. I like it. And
Yeah,
then,
I like the team. They got great hitters. You
Whit
can't go wrong.
Merrifield, Matt Chapman, one of the best defensive third basemen in the league. Vlad Guerrero. Kevin Biggio's been sneaky good. Like, they got a nice hitting, nice offense hitting staff. That makes no sense. But again, kind of like the Twins, their backbone this season has been the pitching, which I think has surprised a lot of people that they are first in the league in ERA, 373 as a team. Sorry if you heard that. That was an ad. I mean, that's what you're kind of looking for, right?
Yeah.
And on that pitching staff, they've been backboned by a lot of the guys you wouldn't expect, and not a lot of the usual suspects. Chris Bassett having a good season, 374, and Kevin Gausman, 316 ERA. He's having a terrific season, but really their stopper for a lot of the season has been Yusei Kikuchi, 382 ERA plus of 111, and a 10-6 record on the season. Their second highest winning percentage on the staff. I just really like what he's done. Lefty just gets after it, game in and game out.
And credit to Chris Bassett. I know he, coming over from the Mets to Toronto on a 4-year deal. He had a great year. He was always great for the Mets, and I definitely think that, it's sad they couldn't retain him, but I know it's good to see he's picking up where he left off last year. Either way with Toronto.
Yeah, and I got to bring it up again. They have a bona fide closer, 36 saves for Jordan Romano with a 2.95 ERA. They also have Tim Maiza in 67 games at 1.4 ERA as a lefty specialist. Really like that staff. So, you know what they're saying? Pitching wins the World Series, right? That's what people say. Something like that, some variation of that.
It's something.
And then the pendulum's got to swing the other way. I think Texas is dead in the water, regardless of Seattle, Houston, or Minnesota, they have no bullpen. They have the most blown saves in the league. They haven't. I think they've something ridiculous since August 1st. I don't think they've gotten a save or 3 saves or something like that. They're getting their clocks cleaned left, right, and center. And listen, when you have that kind of shortened season, like the series,
Right.
it's a quick turnaround. That kind of environment and whatnot, it is tough. And if you're going to be playing in Minnesota, once again, outside, it's cold. Those
Yeah.
fans show up. If you're playing there, that's going to be a tough ask. If you're playing in Seattle, who hasn't won a playoff game in over 20 years, that can really mess with you, especially if your bullpen isn't nails to begin with. So I think they're dead in the water, and I don't think that offense, man, if they get to the World Series, I'd be shocked. Very good offense, pretty good starting rotation. Awful bullpen. One of the worst in the league.
Yeah. I
Certainly the
mean,
worst in the
yeah.
playoffs.
I mean, hey, if you get to Minnesota, it's definitely. I agree. It's I mean, I feel like that's one thing we could have asked Gene. I mean, well, granted, it was playing in the Metrodome compared to playing in Target Field. I think he kind of did elaborate to us that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Minnesota. It is when it comes to the playoffs, they do show out, and it's kind of what he was telling us.
Oh yeah, if you watch the clips of that 1991 and 1987,
World
those
Series.
World Series runs, it's like shaking. The place is going berserk.
Yeah. So
So
the Twins definitely have a history. They're not,
yeah, man, they ball. The fans the fans show up to ball, man.
yeah, they
I
do.
have Baltimore. They're moving to the ALCS regardless.
Right.
Tampa or Toronto. Um, I think
Right.
they're
Well,
moving
they
on.
got the bye. They got the bye. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think they're moving on to the ALCS. I think they're moving on to the World Series. I think they're the clear favorite to me
Baltimore.
to make it out of the
Yeah.
American League. Yeah, so yeah, and it looks like they're not going to have Jose. Let's call them Jose Bautista, Felix Bautista, their closer. But Yenier Cano can still hold it down, man. He can still anchor a good bullpen.
Yeah.
So they've got a decent staff, not great, but that offense is so good. That bullpen is so good. I think they'll be able to overcome that kind of starting pitching deficit. And even then, it's not that bad. It's just not elite.
Right.
The Rangers, some of these other teams, they have like legitimate flaws. So I just kind of feel like they should be in and they should be all right. Moving over to the National League.
Yeah. So
As it's presently constructed, Cubs are in the 6th seed, Diamondbacks are in the 5th seed. I'm going to change the script. I
okay.
don't think the D-backs are going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm speaking it into fruition. I think the Cubs are moving up, and I think my guys are swimming in, baby. You're swimming with the sharks now. Here come the Marlins. Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Fish versus Brew Crew.
Okay. Oh, okay.
These fish like to swim in beer, bro. You know that. You know that. Marlins
Be
over
brewing.
Brewers.
They're gonna be brewing it up in
Absolutely.
Milwaukee.
I have no faith in. I have more faith in the Flying Spaghetti Monster than I do in the Milwaukee Brewers. I have no faith in the Brewers at all. At this
Yeah.
point, they're like the Indiana Pacers of baseball. They always make the playoffs, and nobody will ever have faith in them. I'm sorry. Just prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
I mean,
What do I know?
it's good to see them back in it. I mean, growing up, I remember in middle school, that's when they had the Prince Fielder, and I mean,
They sucked for a long time.
well,
They always,
and they almost made it to the World Series in 18.
yeah, they always had talent, but they could never get anywhere with it.
Well, David
was
Stearns now
Put together a
president
nice
of
team.
baseball operations for the Mets. Up to that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right. He put together some good players for the team. He was one of the orchestrators in the Yelich trade too.
Right.
So I mean, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, he can bring that over to the Mets. But I mean, with the Brewers, yeah, they just like you said, they had the pieces. It's just kind of hard to, I guess, to just put them together. I guess.
Yeah, I don't have the faith in them. I don't.
Okay.
And once again, I'm willing to be wrong. I just don't think they have the kind of lineup that could bang. Jake Berger and Josh Bell. Have you seen what they've been doing for the Fish?
I know Jake Berger's been doing pretty
Bro,
good.
Jake
Yeah, I know
Berger's
Jake
on a
Berger.
heater.
I know
He's making them burgers well
Yeah, I
done,
was gonna
boy. He's making them well done.
I was gonna say he's not medium well, not medium rare. It's
Those things are burnt.
they're burnt.
Those
He's
joints
launching
are
them.
burnt.
He's launching them burgers out to the. I can't say they don't have that sculpture out there anymore. They got rid of that a long time ago, right?
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
lame. I like that. I always thought that was cool. It was different. They had the fish tank behind home plate. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. Bro, he's hit 43 bombs on the season. Yo.
I did see. I remember when I saw Josh.
No, I'm
Bell
sorry.
on
He hit
the,
34 bombs, not 43. Excuse me.
I remember when I saw them on the Indians. I remember Josh Bell because that's when they came to
Josh
City
Bell.
Field. Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me look up,
I was looking at Jake Berger. I was too busy looking at the bacon, egg, and not the bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon cheeseburger with the little special sauce on that.
I did have
Josh
a bacon.
Bell.
I did have a bacon, egg, and cheese before before recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Hey, gotta get them New York bacon, egg, and gotta get them bacon, egg, and cheeses. Not the Jake Berger style, but the New York style.
Yeah, dude. But Josh Bell's been on a heater for them too. 48 games, 276 batting average, 11 bombs. What's your
Never
OPS
great. Yeah,
plus
Jake
per board?
Berger's doing 34
124.
home runs. Yeah, he's coming out. No, is he a rookie? He's not a rookie. No, but like
No,
where did
they got him from the White Sox. He hit
Yeah, they got
9
him for the
homers.
They got him for the White Sox.
9 homers in his last 2 seasons combined.
Why'd they trade him?
Because they're idiots. I don't know what you want me to say. Have you seen their team? Have you seen the decisions they're making?
Chicago's. I don't know the baseball.
I mean that in a very offensive way. I mean that in a very
definitely interesting baseball town. Let's see, Josh Bell. Let's see. Let's take a look. Take a look. Josh Bell's been around forever. I mean, not forever, but like he's been known for like a long time. Like I've heard his name for a long time.
He was on Cleveland earlier this year.
Yeah, I saw him against the Mets.
Yeah, and then the other wild card round for the National League. Cubbies versus Phillies. No more snakes. I'm done. Indiana Jones, why does it have to be snakes? That's me. Phillies versus Cubs. Phillies are moving on. And you know who else the Phillies are beating? 5 games in Atlanta. Phillies over Braves. I'm always a little dubious of the teams that just run right through the regular season. I was a little dubious of those teams. I was a little sketched out. I feel like a lot of those teams, and not just in baseball, but in all sports, a lot of those teams, man, I get a little. Look at the Boston Bruins this year, huh? Yikes! Tough luck. Blow a 3-0 lead in the first round of the postseason. Yeesh. Embarrassing. So, I got the Phils moving on to the NLCS. I also have, unfortunately, the Dodgers beating my fish.
Oh, well, you sure? I mean,
filleting my fish.
You don't think you don't think the Fish could pull up a Dodger upset because the Dodgers have been, as a memory, they along with the Braves, they've collapsed when it comes to the DS. They've you don't think anything could happen? Anything is possible. And words of Kevin Garnett and Aaron Rodgers.
Anything is possible, and I have faith in my fish.
And the Marlins, they have some history. It's not like I said, these teams have a lot of history. Like, obviously, when I think of the Marlins, I think of the 2003 team, and then obviously 97. Those are some magical runs for them,
They've made the playoffs 3 times in franchise history, gotten out of the first round every single time, won the World Series twice. The Fish, magical Fish, man. Got some wizards.
I wouldn't sleep on them against the Dodgers. We'll see.
But, I don't think the Dodgers are going to steamroll them. I don't think they're going to steamroll them. Dodgers going down to Miami, that place is going to be rocking. Trust me, I was down there for the WBC. It gets loud in Lone Depot Park. Close the roof. Close it. Close the roof, Brandon. Close the roof. We want it to be as loud as possible.
I would have planned. I would have planned a trip with you, Dennis, if you wanted to go see a game there. I mean, for the playoffs. That'd be a fun idea in the future.
Yeah, my funds are a little too light for that. But
yes, same with mine.
Absolutely.
In the future, yes.
Sure.
Yes, but anyways, until then, you have the Dodgers getting not. Would you say you didn't say steamrolled, but you said
no. I said they're going to fillet the fish.
They're going to fillet the fish. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
we
keep it fun here.
Yeah, we keep it real. We keep it fast. Here at Battin and Chattin.
So now, it's going to be sad.
Yeah. Now, what about the Braves and the Phillies?
Oh, Phillies are going to whoop them. It's going to be a 5-game set, but Phillies are going to beat them.
In good retrospect, good because I'd rather see the Phillies win it. If I had from a Mets fan, I'd rather see the Phillies win it over the Braves.
You know what it is? I just got more faith in the Phillies, dude. I just do. I got more faith. Spelt obviously PH and
Right.
not F, right? I got more faith in the Phillies.
Well, they did it last year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen Christopher Sanchez? Their pitcher, this no name coming into the season has been dynamite all season long. Dude, he's been a beast. He's been a beast. Let's get his stats up, huh? My boy. I've been writing about him for the did I spell this guy's name wrong? How do you spell your name, Christopher Sanchez? There's no C in it. There's no H in it. Interesting. He's got a 3.48 ERA. That seems high. That seems a lot higher than it is. But 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts on the Mets. Last time he played the Phillies, he played the Braves 2 games in a row. First time, 7.1 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 4 earned runs, 8 hits. All right, maybe not spectacular. Second time he played them, also not spectacular. 4 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 strikeouts. Okay, but I still got faith in him. I got faith in the kid. He'll bring it back. And if he doesn't, they still got Zach Wheeler. Underrated. And then Craig Kimbrell, the anchor in the bullpen with Sir Anthony Dominguez and some of those other cats. Matt Strahm, right? He's still on the team. Don't embarrass me here. Come on. Come on, baseball reference. Oh, he still is. Oh, thank God.
Good for the obviously, good for the Phillies. Good for Zach Wheeler. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, not that there's any amount. I mean, I don't know. I like the Phillies, the Braves, because I feel like the Mets and the Braves, our rivalry is definitely renewed. So, in my opinion, I would like to see the Phillies. I like the Phillies. I have respect for them. I like them. I like them. I respect them a bit. Because
it's kind of how I am with the Orioles.
Because they got the good players and they execute as a team. Not execute. You know what I mean? Like they put they execute in terms of wins. They actually put together some production in terms of that standpoint as a team. Where like you said, the Brewers aren't going to do anything. Well, the Phillies though they go far. They actually make some.
They make the most of it.
They make the most of it. Yeah, exactly. So,
and then I think they are going to make the most of it. They're getting to the World Series again, back-to-back years after beating the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are dead in the water. I think whoever gets to the ALCS is beating the Dodgers. I think they have enough talent to beat whether it is the Diamondbacks or, like I said, fillet my fish, or the fraudulent Brewers. But I think some of the cream of the crop, I don't know. I don't know, man. If it's the Phillies or the Braves, I got to pick against them. And then I got Orioles versus Phillies in the World Series. Orioles in 6. How do you like them apples?
Wow, that's a lot. And that considering from the where the Orioles were last year compared to now, that's a lot. I like it. All right, you know what?
It's a fun postseason, man. Really fun postseason in the world of tennis.
October baseball is always fun. No matter
the Yankees come out of nowhere and they win the World Series. Oh my God, they're eliminated.
I thought they're eliminated.
They're crashing in the Money in the Bank.
Oh man,
were you a WWE fan as a kid or no?
I tried to. I wasn't that much. Obviously, I know of watch out, and Randy Orton, obviously John Cena, CM Punk.
I met John Cena when I was a kid.
Did you see him? No, sorry. I feel like you've said this is the second time, maybe the third time I've probably said that on here too.
Nice guy. Nice guy.
Yeah, he's done a lot. I mean, he's done a lot. But either way, I think
So yeah, your National League picks, buddy. Let me hear them.
I like your picks. I think it's interesting. I kind of similar. I kind of agree with a lot of what you said. I think the Diamondbacks are going to make it tough. I say they bring it to Game 3 against the Phillies. Phillies take it. They move on to.
You're harpooning my fish. They're not getting there in the world of Buddy.
I have to say so. Yeah. I mean, well, you know what? No, actually, no, I can't because I was talking too good about the Marlins before. So I can't go against myself. You know what? Get the Diamondbacks out of there. Marlins, you're in
Yes.
it. Marlins, let's go. Let's start flaying them fish.
So you
But
have the
actually,
Diamondbacks leaving, and you have the Cubs staying in as well.
but
Actually, I might make an amendment. I might keep the Diamondbacks and get rid of the Cubs. After
right. Yeah. No,
yeah, you
yeah.
know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get weird. I'm gonna do that.
All right, you
Goodbye,
know what?
Cubs.
Let's go back to Dennis. Dennis, go back.
No, everything else stays the same. Cubs are out. Diamondbacks are in. They're the proxy. They're
I know
just
you said
looking
because
to
I know you
smoke
said the
them.
Cubs. So yeah, but I feel like the Marlins would take the Cubs spot.
Phillies is snatching their chain. Regardless, they're going Debo.
Yeah, the Phillies are taking the Cubs. No, the Marlins are taking the Cubs spot. The Diamondbacks are going to
Okay.
stay. I think the Diamondbacks make it a good series against the Phillies.
I don't like a team that blows a lead like they did last night. The Cubs allow those teams to get a little squirrely. Red Sox 86 against the Mets. A lot of times teams that blow a late game like that, they get a little, I don't know.
You know, maybe we should have Mookie Wilson on this podcast now. I mean,
Yeah, right.
now you give me ideas of people. He'll probably cost us. He'll definitely say,
It's going to cost a
yeah.
little pretty penny.
But hey, hometown discount. But so no, I'm gonna have the Diamondbacks stay there. The Diamondbacks are staying. I have them staying, and then I'm gonna let's see, and then obviously the Marlins take the Cub spot.
Yay!
That's right. So they're gonna be flaying. They're gonna move on to.
Fillet the Cubs.
I'm gonna say the Marlins are gonna move on against the. They're gonna beat the Brewers, and they're gonna move on to the AL. To the NLDS.
No faith in the Brewers. By the way, I don't really have a reason for the Brewers losing. They have good starting pitching. Devin Wilson, one of the
Colvin Burns.
Devin Williams, one of the
Burns
best closers
is
in the
having a
league.
decent year, has he? Or no? I mean,
Burns has been okay. Brandon
Yeah.
Woodruff, Adrian Hauser, like they got guys that can pitch offensively. They've been there. Mark Canna's turned into Ted freaking Williams. What?
yeah.
Like they got a nice roster. The only thing is they're the Brewers. Bro, if they're wearing Cardinals uniforms, the exact same team, I'd say, bro, this team could win it all. But
I feel like
for
a lot of
whatever
people are
reason,
forgetting
I just have no faith in them. Could be Craig Counsell's last year as their manager, too.
why.
I don't have an answer for that, but supposedly he might be retiring.
Okay. Okay. Right. I mean, let's see. That's tough though, because they got a good team, and Mark Canna's been helping them. So I mean, they're definitely going to put up a good fight. I don't think they're going to get swept. It's just, but the Marlins, they're also an underdog team because Luis Arias. I feel like that's a player that's been talked about a lot. I mean, because in the beginning of the year, man was hitting 400. Something we haven't seen in like over a long time.
And then you got Jazz.
Jake Burgers, Josh
making
Bell.
some music up in Milwaukee. Yeah.
So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting series. But for now, I think as, the Battin and Chattin crew, we're going to take the Marlins over the Brewers. Sorry, Milwaukee fans. You're probably going to have, a tab like they do with Aaron Rodgers. Probably going to have a tab now. That one bar in Green Bay, they have a thing going where if the Jets lose, like they get to pay for their.
Who better than that owner, huh?
Yeah.
Week 1, place is packed. Everybody's getting turned. And then
The Jets come back. Xavier Gibson later.
Yeah.
There you go. Now they all have to pay for their tabs. So obviously, for everyone that doesn't know, about obviously the Jets have Rodgers. A Green Bay bar owner said that if for any time the Jets or the Packers aren't playing, like if they're not playing the same time, if I'm correct, that's how it is. Then if the Jets lose, then the bar, everybody that
game, yeah,
everybody at the bar, they don't have to pay for any cent of their drinks. Now, if the Jets win, then yes. So it doesn't matter how many tabs you're racking up. It's if the Jets win, then yes, the people there they got to start racking up. I guess it's good. I don't know if I don't know if that's like good business. You want to have that publicity.
Great business.
Yeah, I mean, because people get to know the bar, they get to know familiarity. Hey, maybe it's a good place to get some food. I mean, watch the games. But hey, I mean, either way, I don't know if that sounds good at the moment when the Jets lose, because then you gotta. I don't know.
I mean, you're a Jets fan, so you have a different relationship with it than if somebody did that with the Giants or Yankees. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care at all. Like it is what it is. Root against my team. Oh no, 100% of people don't agree with me. I don't care. I'm Dennis. Who are you?
All right.
So I just think it's genius, especially when they actually came back and won the dang thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Okay.
want to know how much they made. Oh well, whatever. Baseball, batting and chatting, not
Back to
beering and
baseball,
cheering.
being and cheering. So
Quick one.
let's say the Marlins head to the NLDS. The Phillies, they play a good series against the Diamondbacks. I'm gonna say they sweep them. I'm not gonna say they're gonna fight it out. They're gonna sweep them, and I say Philly moves on to Atlanta. Phillies, they sweep Atlanta. I just like the momentum they have against them and the Braves. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be tough, but who knows their team better than their team? It's like the saying, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. You know,
Mhm.
Phillies know the Braves. They've played against them countless times this year as they're in the division. So they're gonna. You would hope that they would know how to play them. So I'm gonna take the Phillies over the Braves, and the Braves obviously face off against the Dodgers. No, not the Phillies face off against the Dodgers in the NLCS. And where do we go? You know what? I'm gonna say the Dodgers. I'm gonna say the Dodgers actually beat the Phillies. I say the Dodgers make it back to the World Series against the Baltimore Orioles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can the Dodgers dodge the Baltimore Orioles bird poop? Buddy, your take. Who's gonna win the that got weird. Who's gonna win the World Series in the world of Buddy?
It's really tough. It's gonna go one or two ways. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the Orioles are red hot. They're a young team. The Dodgers, they kind of been there, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the Orioles. The Orioles, they're gonna win it.
Year of
So
the bird.
instead of the Phillies, I think it's the Dodgers that are gonna come. They're gonna make it. I think it's gonna be in Game 5. I say Game 5. I like the
Dang, in 5.
in 5. Yeah,
Man, Adley and the boys making mincemeat of the Dodgers.
that's right.
Wow. Get the
Any
bird seed
any
ready.
thoughts on the any thoughts on the rest of the season?
Um, let's talk about the award races, huh? Ronald Acuna Jr. Have you seen this?
I mean, how can I not?
I mean, it's all over the place. If you've been living under a rock, say hi to Patrick Starr for me, will you? Ronald Acuna Jr. What a season. He's put together 8.1 wins above replacement, mostly thanks to his 41 home runs and 68 stolen bases.
335 too.
What? With an OPS plus of 168. He's 68 points better than league average. But got to show a little respect. He's not leading the majors in stolen bases. What's this guy's name again? Come on, what's from the A's? Come on, help me out here. I'm trying to figure it out. Oakland
Rick,
A's. No, not Oakland. Not Ricky Henderson. I'm talking about this guy.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm trying to think of his name. Is it Esturi Ruiz? There it is. I got it too late.
Mm-hmm.
65 stolen bases. Oh, okay. So Ronald Acuna actually has passed him for most stolen bases in the league this year. Esturi Ruiz from the A's has 65. With a .1 wins above replacement this season. That is insane. His OPS plus is 88, and he has 65 stolen bases. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all.
He's just a great player, honestly. Just looking at his stats, I mean, he got caught like 13 times.
Ronald Acuna?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, he got caught stealing 13 times.
Story Ruiz. Dang it, I keep doing
His OPS is insane. Just looking at.
Dude, it's insane. And let's be clear here, because people are saying we've never seen this before. We've never seen this before, and we haven't. But also, let's be clear here. Bases are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You're only allowed 3 pickoffs. Come on, if Rock Reigns or Ricky Henderson were in the league right now, they'd be at like 130. Both of them had over 100 stolen bases in a season in their careers. So, like, let's just be a little realistic here. The rules have kind of helped. It's kind of Ronald Acuna is to the new stolen base rules what Steve Nash was to the hand check after that got abolished in the early 2000s in basketball. Rules change, and somebody's going to benefit more than you. And I think Ronald Acuna is a perfect example.
Yeah.
41 and 68. Dang. One of 5 players to be in the 40-40 club. Brandon, can you name the other guys without
In
looking
the
it up?
40-40 club?
Yeah, 40 stolen bases, 40 homers.
Hmm.
2 of them are household names. One of them was big back then, but not so much now. The other one, sneaky good, very underrated, but somebody that we grew up watching.
It's not Jose Reyes, is it?
No.
No, I wish. Well, he wasn't
The
much of a
homers.
home run hitter. Can you give me a team?
I'll give you all 4 teams they did it for. One of them did it for the Pirates, not known for being on the Pirates. One of them did it for the Texas Rangers. One of them did it for the Oakland A's. The first one was for the Oakland A's in the 80s. And the one previous
So
to
Ricky
Ron
Henderson.
Acuna Jr. did it for the Nationals in 2006. Not Ricky Henderson. Not a home run hitter.
Really? Oh, he was okay. Yeah, he wasn't a home run hitter. No. I can't give it to you now.
You can't give me any of them.
Not at the moment. No.
Barry Bonds. Jose Canseco was the first. Barry Bonds did it second. A-Rod did it third when he was in Texas. Alfonso Soriano. Shocking. You wouldn't expect Alfonso, and he was like 10th in MVP voting that year. Thanks, guys. Did it for the Washington Nationals in 06 when he was the tank commander for a team that was going nowhere. So Ronald Acuna, rarefied air. First player to do 40-50, 40-60. Good for him, man. Congratulations. Hard for
Now,
you.
who do you got? Who do you think's going to do it for the Cy Young?
The Cy Young is weird, and I've kind of subscribed to the fact that I'm in the minority with it. I like Justin Steele. For the Cubs. I really do. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess wins above replacement favors Snell. And then Logan Webb, then Kodai Senga in third place. He should be rookie of the year. I can't believe that he's not. That people are saying it's Corbin Carroll ahead of him. That's insanity to me. Zach Allen's in fourth with WAR. Steele is in seventh. And Spencer Strider, who's the other one people are arguing for just because he's on the Braves and no other real reason for it, is not even in the top 10 for WAR. ERA, Snell ahead of an ERA as well. Steele in third, Senga in second. So, and then wins, Strider leads the league in 19. Gallen in second with 17, Steele 16. Then we have win-loss percentage, Steele in fourth, Strider in first. Walks and hits per innings pitched. I guess that's like a good thing.
I think
Burns is ahead of it. He's in first. Spencer Strider's in second. Hits per 9 innings pitched. Blake Snell gives up the least. Senga third again. Strider's in fourth. Senga should get more Cy Young consideration. Bases on balls per 9 innings pitched. Again, Steele, out of all the other Cy Young candidates, leads in fourth, 1.86. By the way, fun fact, Blake Snell has the opportunity to be the first player to lead the league in both walks and ERA. Gives up the most walks. What a world.
what a wonderful world.
Yeah. See, fields of green. Strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. Strider leads, then Snell. And I think kind of what hurts Steele is he's not a strikeout guy. He's a control pitcher. So I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards Snell and Strider. I think it's Justin Steele, man. Justin Steele has been consistent all season long. He didn't start off as slow as Snell did. He hasn't been as cool. Strider has been very cold the past, couple of weeks. I think it's Justin Steele. I reward consistency, man.
And
I actually think if Denis baseball, king of baseball, how he would have it, Steele, Snell, Senga, Strider. I have Senga ahead of Strider. I do. I really do. Rookie year for Senga. He was a professional in Japan. So
Yeah,
what? It's
I can't.
different over
Yeah,
here.
I agree with what you said. Like they can't even like.
It's
It's
not fair to
only
Senga.
like they only have like when I look at other pages and what they tell me, it's like they only have Corbin Carroll as like the clear cut favorite. There's no contender. There's no dark horse. It's clear cut Corbin Carroll.
And honestly, it's a Hideki Matsui thing. He didn't get it specifically because he played in Japan. He didn't get Rookie of the Year. That was known at the time. It was, he's not really a rookie. Does it say rookie card on his Yankees tops? Okay, then he's a rookie. Thanks. So I don't know if that's holding Senga back. If some writers still feel that way, that Japan it's a higher level than the minors. But so what? Like it's different. I don't understand how it went from a lot of these players that play in other leagues can't play in Major League Baseball to all of a sudden you're too good to be considered a rookie.
Too good.
So I don't get it. I hope it doesn't hold Senga back.
Hmm.
Because Corbin Carroll, I don't know, man.
We'll see. I mean, but in terms of the AL MVP, Shohei's the clear cut favorite.
How do you feel about that? He hasn't played in about a month.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, because obviously, he was
When
having
it's
a
all
great
said and
season.
done,
He
it
was
will
having
be
a
about
great
a month.
season before that. I mean, do you think that because he's been injured and he hasn't played a certain amount of games, that definitely knocks him? Do you think?
I think any other year Ohtani wouldn't win the MVP. But the fact that Corey Seager has also barely played is helping him. Yordan Alvarez having a really good season, barely played. Aaron Judge having a very good season, barely played. Altuve, barely played. So a lot of the guys that had really good seasons in the American League just didn't have the longevity
Yeah.
that we would expect out of MVPs. And I think that's what's keeping Ohtani in it.
I mean,
And I
considering,
also think, in fairness to Ohtani, kind of the what I like to call it, the reality game show winner approach of who represents the season the most is usually who wins those kinds of shows. Ohtani represents the American League season the most. He was the biggest story the entire time, most talked about. If this was the Survivor box set or whatever, he'd be on the cover of it. I'd give it to him. So, but it's interesting. A lot of people are starting to zag the other way and saying that because he hasn't played in a while.
yeah, I mean,
It's interesting.
it's very interesting. Now, getting back to they're obviously AL Rookie of the Year. What do you got for that? How come
I have no
Aldi
idea.
Rutschman, he's not in it?
Adley Rutschman, he's technically not a
Rutschman,
rookie.
Adley Rutschman, because he played last year.
Yeah, he was over the qualified games last year.
Okay.
He's finished second in Rookie of the Year voting last year too. Same thing with Bobby Witt Jr. He's not in it. So a lot of people are saying Gunnar Henderson. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's one of those. Gunnar Henderson doesn't seem right. Do you know what I mean? Like it's. Yeah, a lot of people have talked about him and whatnot, but it's not what you'd expect out of Rookie of the Year front runner. But the other name, again, kind of funny, Yoshida, in a similar kind of boat as Senga. I don't know if he's going to be held back because he's technically from a different league or whatnot, but Yoshida has a 1.3 WAR, which doesn't help him. But he's a left fielder playing in Fenway Park compared to Gunnar Henderson. 10 less games and 40 less plate appearances, has more hits, 13 less RBIs, 11 less 13 less home runs, 11 less RBIs, 2 less stolen bases, 28 points higher on a batting average, higher OBP, lower OPS plus by 18 points, lower slugging, lower OPS plus. I just kind of feel like I wouldn't give it to Yoshida, but I also kind of think like Gunnar Henderson has been like the rookie of the year for the past month, and it just seems like it's too much of a runaway.
Mm.
It just doesn't seem right to me, you know.
But obviously for the AL Cy Young,
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. Yeah, I agree.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Tristan Casas is that what? Tristan Casas is the favorite right now. Is the betting favorite? This can't be real, right? No, it's Gunnar Henderson, then Josh Jung, then Tristan Casas, Tanner Bibby, Yoshida, Yenier Diaz. I don't know, man. I guess Gunnar Henderson, sure. Josh Jung getting hurt really hurts him. Tristan Casas, kind of a slow starter. Tanner Bibby. If the Guardians didn't send him down 10 times, maybe he'd be in it. So it's going to be Gunnar Henderson, but it's kind of one of those, I don't really care. And then, yeah, Garrett Cole for the American League. I don't even know who's going to get second for the American League. That's another one. He just kind of outlasted everybody else.
okay.
People are saying, what about Gosman? Okay, sure. I mean, okay, if you want to tell yourself that.
Yeah.
It's Garrett Cole's to lose. If he doesn't get it after he got robbed of it in 2019, I'm done. I would just be full insufferable Yankee fan. Oh, there's a bias against us. Which I do think it cost Aaron Judge 2017 MVP. I want to be clear. Should have got it. Even without the cheating thing, he should have got it. That was ridiculous.
You think so?
That was ridiculous. Come on. Rookie hits 55 home runs.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
It happens.
That was stupid.
Mm.
He's got 20 points less on his batting average. Altuve's shorter. That's an actual argument. Are you kidding me?
You can make that. Yeah, you can make that an argument.
That was stupid. That was so stupid. And then it comes out that the guy cheated anyway. Great. So if this happens again, if a Yankee doesn't get an award again, I'm going to be pissed. If they're like, oh, no, it shouldn't be Garrett Cole. It should be some other freaking jobber. So what do you think? You think Cole?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, right.
Not any question. And I even say the Yankee fans. I mean, well, I feel like one of the only I mean, look, the Yankees do get a ton of positives. They do. They still got somewhat of a future, just like the Mets do. They do. But one of the biggest positives, obviously, besides Aaron Judge, is Garrett Cole. By far not. It's not even a question. And because the way he's just been dominant, and it kind of took a while for him to kind of adjust, I feel like, to the New York media, playing in the New York market. It was not easy for him. But you know, I think he definitely adjusted well. He did good. And worked out good for either way. He's playing great. In my opinion.
Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to see what the other betting favorites are. Award winner odds. There we go. Yeah. Dude, stop. I'm looking at these right now.
What? Luis
Castillo, Sonny Gray, Kevin Gausman, Framber Valdez, George Kirby. Did you see George Kirby got hit in the head with a baseball last night?
Yeah, I saw that.
Nuts. Pablo Lopez. Bro, if Garrett Cole doesn't win this, I'm going to be so mad. You have no idea how mad I'm going to be. How is Kodai Senga this far down? What?
You got me.
He's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Ahead of Jesus Luzardo. Behind Corbin Burns, behind Logan Webb, Kershaw, Wheeler, Gallen. I covered the Phillies all year. I'd ask Philly fans if they'd rather have Senga or Wheeler. You ask them. Just saying. It's ridiculous. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
All right, I guess. Yeah, but I saw that. But the fan got hit by that was. Weird. You'd see Kirby that he looks disgusted. He's like, and I remember listening to the commentators, Ron Darling, because I guess the game is on TBS. Mm-hmm. We have I think it was Ron Darling that was announcing because he also covers other baseball games besides the Mets, and he went like he went nuts on the fan. He's like, because I hope that fan is banned forever. And I saw someone comment they're like, man, the announcer just cursed out him and his future generation of family for decades and going to any future baseball games.
Good.
I was like,
Good. Way to be, Ron. I like Ron Darling.
yeah, he's a good guy. But I guess that's essentially it.
Yeah. Although we had to end the series on a sad note.
Yes.
We hope the Orioles win the World
Unfortunately.
Series, especially now after perhaps the greatest Oriole of all time, Brooks Robinson, passed away yesterday.
Rest in peace.
For those of you who don't know, Brooks Robinson, a Hall of Famer, was named as one of the 100 greatest players of pre 2000 baseball. I think it was Sports Illustrated did a whole thing years ago. I have the book. 16-time Gold Glover, 18-time All-Star, an MVP, a World Series MVP, All-Star Game MVP, 2-time World Series champion, wins above replacement for his career, 78.4. I mean, played forever, too. His nickname, Buddy, was the Human Vacuum Cleaner.
Really?
Played from age 18 to age 40 in the bigs. Best defensive player ever. Some would say. Yeah. Certainly the best defensive third baseman by the numbers.
It's very interesting.
Incredible player. And passed away at 85 years old.
Rest in peace.
So, 86, excuse me. So, rest in peace to one of the greats.
Rest in peace to one of the greats. We got Brooks Robinson. You'll be sadly missed.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, it's the last week of the regular season. Things are starting to wrap up. We figure out who clinches, who is eliminated, and we'll be hanging out in Cancun with the Mets and the Yankees. Not Cancun. I'd say Aruba. I'd rather go to Aruba than Cancun. But either way, and we'll see. October baseball is here, and it's really exciting. So we'll figure it out. So on that note, Dennis, anything else before we wrap up?
No, go fish. Go Crew. I have not been able to get this right all show. I've been trying to do it the whole time.
What's that?
Show the little Marlins logo, and I can't. Gosh, I'm a bum. All right, let's wrap this up.
All right. Now, be sure to check out our revamped website at www.easternobserver.com for the latest news in the world of baseball and so much more. We thank you for joining us on another edition of Battin and Chattin. Now, for my co-host, Denis Tuohy, and the entire Blackjack Media Group team, I'm Brandon Natale saying so long, and we'll see you next time.